It's Wednesday, and that means another news day. Let's get started with Midweek News, episode 110. First up, we've got a new release of the Xfce 4.20 desktop. The developers have been hard at work, and some highlights of their labors include Wayland support, high DPI scaling, updates to the file manager and panel, and many others. Coming soon to a Linux distribution near you. VoxeLibre 0.88. For those who haven't followed, VoxeLibre is an open source game that might remind you of and help you replace Minecraft. VoxeLibre is powered by Loanti, formerly known as Minetest. If you're a fan of this type of game, give it a try. It will only cost you your time. SyncThingy. If you've used SyncThingy on Linux desktop and always wanted a tray icon to access it, SyncThingy is your solution. SyncThingy is a tray indicator for SyncThingy written in C++. It has the basic features you'd expect: status, start, stop, and launch the web UI. Definitely worth a look. The TCL NXTPAPER 11 Plus. For the first time since my Google tablet more than 10 years ago, my interest is piqued in actually having a tablet. This particular device uses NXTPAPER, which gives a matte finish to the display to reduce glare, add blue light filtering, and other features. Full specs and pricing were not available in this particular article. However, it is well known that it will have touch and pen support and a 2.2K resolution. Dell is starting to use Apple naming conventions for its computer. Since XPS, Inspiron, Latitude, Precision, and Optiplex are too confusing for buyers, Dell is making a change. Dell is streamlining its branding to 3 new names: Dell, Dell Pro, and Dell Pro Max. Then, to reintroduce the classic Dell confusion, each brand will have Base, Plus, and Premium. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. The macOS dock has turned 25 years old. You can learn a lot more about the evolution of the macOS dock in this article. It sure has come a long way, even from when I started using a Mac in 2008. It was sure a great birthday present in 2000 when Steve Jobs introduced the dock to us, and the rest, as they say, is history. The Budgie 10.10 desktop will be wayland-only. Budgie 10.10, due in first quarter 2025, will be a stepping stone towards the Budgie 11 desktop, which will come later. One of the big changes is dropping X11 support. Budgie has always been a rather unique desktop, but its timing may get overshadowed by Cosmic from System 76. Certainly, it will be interesting to watch this unfold. Writing bash scripts with help and usage examples. This article takes a rather novel approach to bash scripting by breaking down the steps of each part of the script, including adding a help function. I wouldn't expect anything less from a site called bashscript.net, and it is a refreshing departure from the typical tutorial. Govee mini panel lights announced at CES 2025. These mini panel lights were one of the highlights of CES 2025 for me. They are nice looking, affordable, and customizable. I have a couple of Govee products already, and they have held up very well. I am looking forward to getting my hands on these and adding a splash of color to my apartment. The Lenovo Legion Go S with Valve's SteamOS expected to launch in May. The portable PC gaming world is heating up now with a little new competition. The first third-party portable device with SteamOS is coming from a partnership between Lenovo and Valve. The device looks nice and will hopefully get SteamOS devices in the hands of many more people. While it's not immediately on my radar as an item to buy, since it's Linux-based, it wouldn't be out of the question for later in 2025 to acquire and review one of these units. AlmaLinux OS 10 preview is now available with kernel 6.12. For those of you who want or need a Red Hat Enterprise Linux work-alike, AlmaLinux OS 10 is now available for testing, built on the CentOS Stream 10 source code. Bringing several new improvements to the distribution, this distro also differs slightly from CentOS Stream. It re-enables frame pointers, adds back support for x86-64 version 2 architecture, SPICE, KVM for IBM Power, extended hardware support, and RPM packages for Firefox and Thunderbird. Raspberry Pi 5 16 gig variant is now on sale. Available for around $120 US, this new offering gives you extra headroom to run virtual machines or containers on your Raspberry Pi. It will certainly be interesting to see what projects people end up using this model for. Sid Meier's Civilization 7 is Steam Deck verified with Linux version ahead of release on February 11th. For those Civilization fans amongst us, this will be a welcome development. I've not spent a lot of time playing the Civilization series of games, but it definitely looks interesting, especially with Linux and Steam Deck support. Continuing on the gaming theme, the Atari GameStation Go handheld coming in third quarter with 200 games built in. This item has made me feel a little nostalgic for classic video games, especially after spending my birthday this year at Galloping Ghost Arcade. The purchase price is only $150 and ready to go with 200 games built in. An interesting design features a trackball, D-pad, as well as a paddle, and you will be able to play a variety of games from the golden age of Atari. A unique feature is the GameStation Go has LED lights that illuminate just the hardware you need for a particular game. If the Legion Go falls outside of my budget for the year, I might be able to grab one of these as an alternative. OpenMediaVault updated to version 7.5. This seems like another rather minor update, but I always like to stay on top of these. While there is much more buzz around TrueNAS Scale these days, I still find OpenMediaVault to be a useful NAS, especially for teaching people the basics. The Linux dig command. This is a great tutorial on dig. Dig is a command line DNS diagnostic tool that retrieves various DNS properties such as DNS records, IP addresses, and host name properties. Dig is a great tool to have in your bag of tricks when facing a networking issue. Linux Mint 22.1 is now available. Supported until 2029, this new release of Mint brings many changes and enhancements. Modernization of apt dependencies, better translations, simplified architecture of AppKit, Nightlight, Cinnamon 6.4 with new default theme, cleaner modern dialogues, improved Wayland support, and much, much more. Available to download now with your choice of Cinnamon, Xfce, or Mate desktops. Debian 12.9 Bookworm released with 72 bug fixes and 38 security updates. You can in large part consider the Debian point releases to be reissues or roll-up releases incorporating the new bug fixes and security updates that have been implemented since the last point release. Available with KDE Plasma, GNOME, Xfce, Cinnamon, Mate, LXQT, and LXDE desktop environments, as well as a standard or server ISO, which is available for download without a graphical environment. Grab your ISO now. And finally, essential Linux security tips. There are some gems in this article for the new Linux user, along with some of the same advice you would generally hear for any operating system. Use the principle of least privilege, enhance authentication, firewalls and network security, encrypt data at rest and in transit, monitor logs and system activity, secure the kernel, regular backup, and the list goes on. While it may not be all-encompassing advice, it's enough to give someone transitioning to Linux some strategies to think about as they move forward on their journey. And that, my friends, will bring us to the end of episode 110 of Midweek News. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing some of you tonight at 9 in our weekly Wednesday live stream. See you then.